know that a book written over 80 years ago is still considered one of the most valuable books for personal development today? That's right. I'm talking about Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you've ever felt like you struggle in social situations or want to get ahead in your career, this book has some timeless advice that could change everything for you. Imagine moving through life, making friends wherever you go, and influencing people with just your words. That's the promise behind Dale Carnegie's classic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. In a world where relationships matter more than ever, understanding the principles in this book is essential. In today's video, we'll dive into the key lessons from this incredible book. Whether you want to get ahead in your career, improve personal relationships, or just be a more likable person, this book holds the key. So, if you're ready to take your social skills to the next level, stick around. Now, let's start with the first major principle. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Think about it. How often do you criticize someone to get them to change? Carnegie argues that criticism only makes people defensive and resentful. Instead, focus on what they're doing right. Praise their efforts, and you'll build a stronger connection. For example, if your coworker misses a deadline, instead of pointing out the failure, recognize their hard work and ask how you can help. This small shift can lead to more cooperation. Next, let's explore the second principle. Give honest and sincere appreciation. People love to hear kind words about themselves and want to feel valued. But here's the catch. The compliment must be genuine. Instead of generic praise, try to mention something specific. When someone does something commendable, call out. For instance, if a friend helps you with a project, don't just say thanks. Be specific about what you appreciate. Like, thank you for your help with organizing. I couldn't have done it without your attention to detail. This type of sincere acknowledgement strengthens relationships and encourages the other person to reciprocate positively. Now, let's move on to principle 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. Instead of telling people what to do, frame requests around their interests. If you want a neighbor to join a community project, highlight what they'll gain from participating. You might say, you'll meet new people and learn some great skills. Aligning your request with their desires creates a win-win situation. Next up is principle 4. Become genuinely interested in other people. The most fundamental lessons from the book. Carnegie emphasizes that everyone wants to feel valued and understood. People love talking about themselves. Show interest by asking questions and listening actively. When you ask questions about someone's interests or experiences, it not only makes them feel good, but also helps you connect on a deeper level. Instead of dominating the conversation, let others share their stories. For example, next time you meet someone, instead of talking about yourself, try asking them about their favorite hobby or recent adventures. When someone sees you care, they're naturally drawn to you. You'll be surprised at how much more open and engaging those conversations can become. Such small interactions can create lasting impressions. Now let's talk about principle 5, smile. Never underestimate the power of a smile. A genuine smile can break down barriers and make people feel welcome. Try this. When you enter a room, smile at everyone you see. You'll notice how much more positive your interactions become. Principle 6 is about the power of a person's name. Carnegie highlights that our names are the sweetest sounds to us. When you remember and use someone's name in conversation, it leaves a lasting impression. It shows that you care enough to remember who they are. So, a good strategy is to repeat their name during the conversation. For instance, it's great to meet you, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. How was your weekend? This adds warmth to any interaction. This simple act shows that you value the other person. Next is principle 7. Be a good listener. Many people think they need to impress others by talking about themselves. But true influence comes from listening. When someone is speaking to you, focus entirely on them. Nod, maintain eye contact, and ask follow-up questions. This shows that you value what they have to say. A story from the book illustrates this perfectly. Carnegie recalled a time when he spent an entire evening listening to a businessman talk about his passion for collecting stamps. By the end, not only did that businessman feel appreciated, but he also became a valuable contact for Carnegie. Then, there's principle 8. talk in terms of the other person's interests. When you approach a conversation, focus on what they care about. Try to appeal to their interests and desires. This creates a bond and aligns your goals with theirs. If you're discussing a project, relate it back to what matters to them. You'll create a mutually engaging conversation. Principle 9 is where it gets interesting. Make the other person feel important. This doesn't mean flattery. Acknowledge their thoughts and contributions genuinely. If a friend offers an idea, say, "That's a great suggestion. I really appreciate your perspective." You'll not only boost their confidence, but also strengthen your bond. Now, the principle 10. Let's touch upon the significance of a positive attitude. Your outlook affects how others see you and interact with you. When you approach life with optimism, it becomes easier to attract positive experiences in relationships. Carnegie shows through numerous examples that a smile and a friendly demeanor can open many doors. By embodying these principles, you can transform not only how others see you, but also how you view yourself. Lastly, let's wrap up with the final principle. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Carnegie teaches that when faced with conflict, it's important to avoid arguing. Arguments can ruin relationships. When disagreements arise, focus on common ground instead of winning the battle. Offer your perspective calmly and listen to theirs. Start by acknowledging their feelings and then calmly share your viewpoint. This approach reduces tension and opens up for a more constructive conversation. An example from the book shows how a manager used this technique and managed to turn a heated disagreement into a fruitful discussion. Finding solutions together is more rewarding than proving a point. To wrap it all up, the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, gives us timeless nuggets of wisdom on human interaction. By showing genuine interest, listening actively, giving sincere compliments, handling disagreements calmly, and maintaining a positive attitude, you can improve your relationships significantly. Remember, it's not about manipulation, but about building real connections. So, take these lessons to heart and watch how they can transform your social skills. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on how you will apply these lessons in your life. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and share with others who might benefit. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Remember, building genuine relationships can dramatically impact your life in so many ways. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.